Landlord group sues City of LA over coronavirus anti-eviction protections. Southern California's largest landlord organization has launched a legal action against the City of Los Angeles aimed at stripping away protections from evictions during the novel coronavirus pandemic. The Apartment Association of Greater Los Angeles, in the federal lawsuit filed Thursday, argued that the city's efforts to prevent evictions for those who can't pay due to economic or health effects of the coronavirus violate landlords' Fifth Amendment rights against government taking of their property without compensation. The lawsuit also targets a measure passed by the LA City Council to halt rent increases in more than 600,000 apartments covered by the city's rent stabilization program due to the pandemic. If allowed to stand, the ordinances will not only continue to violate plaintiffs' members' rights under both the California and the United States Constitutions, but will continue to inflict massive and widespread economic damage on property owners and landlords throughout the city, said the lawsuit, which was filed in the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California. The suit is the latest effort from landlord groups to attempt to overturn anti-eviction rules passed by local governments across the region in the wake of the coronavirus. In at least one case, the city of Upland rescinded its eviction protections under threat of litigation. Well, that's one down. A spokesman for LA City Attorney Mike Feuer didn't immediately respond to a request for comment about the lawsuit. Property law experts have said that local governments have broad constitutional authority to temporarily ban evictions during emergencies. Under the City of LA's rules, landlords cannot evict tenants for unpaid rent if they can show in court that they've been economically affected by the coronavirus, including those who have lost jobs or wages during the pandemic. Tenants must repay all past due rent, but they have a year following the expiration of the city's state of emergency related to the coronavirus to do so. The city also has passed a measure allowing renters to sue their landlords if they violate the anti-eviction regulations. These rules, however, still allow for evictions to occur. Some tenant advocates have expressed alarm that renters may have to go to court to take advantage of the protections that historically tenants in the vast majority of evictions cases have not had legal representation. A recent report from the UCLA Luskin Institute on Inequality and Democracy estimated that 365,000 renter households in the county are at high risk of evictions, despite the rules aimed at preventing them in the city and across the region. Wow. Currently, the state court system is blocking nearly all eviction and home foreclosure cases from moving forward until 3 months after the state of emergency due to the coronavirus ends, or 3 months after the state of emergency. Okay. Earlier this week, the Judicial Council, policymaking arm of the court system, considered allowing eviction lawsuits to proceed in early August, but backtracked after conversations with Governor Gavin Newsom, state lawmakers, and interest groups, said Chief Justice Tani Cantu-Sekuye in a statement. I believe the executive and legislative branches will need more time to sort through various policy proposals, Cantu-Sekuye said. All right, that's the end of the article. Like I said, this is 365,000 that are at risk, and these are just tenants. Like I said, we're not even talking about foreclosures that may have been in process, but they're saying 3 months after the emergency ends. Well, there's one thing that, we talked about that on the other video about tenants. They're putting a whole bunch of people on the street. And then we talk about hell. We just talked about here in California, potential of putting 500,000 people out on the street. That is going to cause a major, major upset. I don't even think you can actually get to 365,000 people to evict all those folks. It's going to take a long time just to work through the system, just trying to do that alone. But the thing is that landlords have to make rent, pay taxes, and a whole bunch of stuff, which is, I probably should have read the other article before this video. I think I'll do that next time. That landlords have to make their mortgage, they have to pay taxes, they have to keep the upkeep of the apartments, and they can't do that without money. So without the cash flow, They're prevented from doing all this, and some landlords that I've heard have going into a deficit. And if you're talking about especially recent landlords that just bought the properties and stuff like that, 6 months, man, they may not be able to dig out of that hole. And so you might not just have homeowners that are in this predicament. You might also have landlords that are in this predicament too, because even if you evict these people, say you do evict these people and clean up the apartments. The thing is, all these people do not have money to actually go back and get another apartment, or at least another apartment in that range. So the prices will have to come down to actually meet the actual level of payment that these people can make. So that's also going to impact the mortgages, and by impacting the mortgages that the landlords pay to the banks, is going to impact the banks. It's going to cause a hell of a banking crisis. So this house of cards, or these dominoes that have been set up and started falling, there's no telling when the end of the dominoes are actually going to stop. It's like that big old train when you see these dominoes do all these tricks, and the dominoes fall for like 5-10 minutes until they get to the end, because the setup is so complex. Your economy is just like that. It's a series of dominoes. As long as all the dominoes stay upright, it's fine. But once you tip the first one and you don't set it up right, it can tip the next and the next and the next and the next, till this whole complex domino setup actually falls down flat. And it will take hours. It takes hours to set that all up, sometimes a day to set it all up, right? It can come down. It can come down in a year. It could take decades to build it back up to where it was. And that's the issue. It's not just the tenants. It's not just the household owners. It's the renters. It's the landlords. It's the banks. It's the state and federal governments that have to lay off people because they don't have any tax revenue come in. I think there was, I can't remember which state it was that had to lay off. I think it was New York City. They had to lay off some city workers because they didn't have any tax revenue coming in, which puts more people out on the street. They can't pay their rent, and it's like like I said, it's a domino effect. But may you live in interesting times, and all these black swans landing at once, man. It's very interesting. I thought I'd never see it. I had hoped I would never see it. The possibility of this economic civilization collapsing at free fall speeds is something that was always on the edge and could happen. It was something I hoped that it wouldn't happen in my lifetime, because I don't want to see it. I like to live my golden years out in peace and tranquility and stability. And this situation, these black swans are fucking with my stability. I don't like it. But it's my job to sit here and give you your fear porn and make you guys aware of situations, and give you things to think about and things to actually look at and study. But with that, that's all I got for this one. Just wanted to drop this article as promised. I think I will do one on foreclosures. I think maybe tomorrow, but we'll see. Well, with that, I'm going to jump off here. This is BGS out, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.